On his birthday, he discovers that his 5 beautiful sisters are not his true sisters. As a result, the sisters develop sexual affections for him but are unable to express them openly. The story began with the introduction of the Shianji family, which is immensely wealthy and has a home with several servants for their daily requirements. This home housed all 7 lovely siblings from the Shianji family. The family's eldest heir, Erida, is 16 years old. He was having breakfast with his 15-year-old brother. Arida, the Shianji family's heir, was overly concerned about his lack of romantic relationships. He decided to ask his brother how he obtained a girlfriend. Cheyen simply says that it just happened. However, heir continues to ask for further information. Cheyen advises against putting too much strain on oneself, despite being the older brother. And how about the girl you liked? Erida answers that he is taking baby measures. Cheyen then informs him that he is the eldest son of the Shianji family. He can turn any female into his girlfriend. However, Arida was skeptical of his luck. Suddenly, the 5 sisters appear and inquire about the conversation between the two. The first sister's name is Yuka. The second is Seiha. Minami ranks third. The fourth option is Katono. Bonri is the eldest among them. Yuka and Seiha quickly figured out what Arida was talking about and even began taunting him. Cheyen revealed that Arida was complimenting Yuka's appearance, exacerbating the situation. Yuka becomes enraged and attacks Arida with her dog upon hearing this. On the one hand, Arida's agony is not over. His sisters were making fun of him. Even when he attempts to explain, no one listens. We learn of a horrific occurrence involving roommates. They explain how having nasty thoughts about one's sister is utterly inappropriate. The eldest sister, Bonri, exploits their weaknesses and silences them all. Minami reveals that their older brother is a wonderful person, which makes Arida pleased. He moves to hug her, but Minami knocks him out with a single punch. Minami, who aspired to be an Olympic athlete, struck him out of impulse while undergoing physical courses. Yuka inquires about everyone's availability on Saturday for Katono's birthday celebrations. Cheyen excuses himself due to a date, but no one inquires about his opinion. The following day, at the train station, everyone's attention was drawn to the 5 sisters, as if watching a miracle. In addition, each had its own fan club. Cheyen was popular among girls, but Erida was well known among boys for his muscular physique. The scene shifts to a school lavatory where Cheyen and Erida are discussing. They are often seen with the females, but few realize the daily hardships they face at home, including beatings from their sisters. Both brothers have been bullied since childhood due to their parents' tendency to sympathize with the girls and their inability to defend themselves. We then learn more about their sisters. Bonri, the eldest, is a freshman at a prominent university studying to become a nurse. C, the next sister, is the president of the school's science club and ranks first overall. She's quite cool and talented, which is why she has so many followers. Yuka stands out for her intellectual and athletic abilities. She excels in swimming and tracking groups and is poised to become the next student council president, making her popular among peers. Minami, a prodigy who has won the junior high tennis championship 3 times in a row, is ready to become an Olympic athlete and gain fame. Finally, the 5th sister is Katono. Although she is cute and introverted, she is also incredibly popular. Cheyen reveals that Katono once proclaimed her love to Arida, causing Arida to become apprehensive and dismiss it as a sibling issue. Right after that, we see the girl Arida genuinely likes. The scene moves to Arida's home, where he considers sending a friend request to Lala, but decides against it due to concerns of rejection. Yuka enters Arida's room and borrows his notes. His notes startled her with their neatness. Erida advises Yuka to wear extra cover-up clothing when his eyes are drawn to an inappropriate location. Yuka responds, "This is my house, and we've been bathing together since we were children. So, what haven't you seen?" Arida was left stunned by this response. Yuka asks, "Who is the girl you like?" "I know it's Lala, right?" Arida becomes enraged, figuring Cheyen must have informed her. Yuka then tries to send Lala a friend request to help Arida, but he stops her. As a result, Yuka becomes enraged and walks off after angrily criticizing Arida. In a family portrait, Katono appears to be staring at Arida. The setting transitions to the following day after school. Arida was lost in thought, wondering, what if I wasn't born into the Shianji family? What if I didn't have 5 sisters? Would my future have been different? Suddenly, Lala appears in front of him. That also happened with another guy. Then we're shown as seen in their home. Arida goes out of his room for his sister's birthday party. He sees Yuka, who is dressed quite elegantly. She elaborates, Dad always says if you're not properly dressed, you won't get anything. She then compliments Arida, too. Everyone gathered around the dining table. Arida was still buried in thinking about his future, marriage, and family. Minami and Yuka get into an argument after Minami misplaces Yuka's headphones. Everyone starts concerned and attempts to calm them down. But then Arida yells and orders them to stop saying, "We are siblings." Upon hearing this, both girls feel ashamed, but everyone returns to a happy mood. Suddenly, their father enters, delighted to see them all together. Before they begin eating, he says, "I have something important to tell you. I determined long ago to expose this on Katono's 15th birthday." He repeats, "Let me say this again. I genuinely adore all of you, but you are not true siblings." After hearing this, the room becomes silent. Everyone is shocked. The father casually adds, "You are all adopted. Only Minami and Cheyen are twins and blood relatives. The majority of you are not. I took this decision after consulting with your mother. I will never lie to you again." He instructs them to continue the birthday celebration, but everyone is still surprised. After dinner, we notice the siblings huddled together. Minami appears unaffected and maintains her usual behavior. After spending time together, they discuss how they feel like actual siblings, despite not being blood-related. Although they don't blame their father, they believe he could have revealed the truth at a better time. Sei asks Bonri, "Do you remember anything? Katono arrived home when you were 5 years old." Bree says she doesn't recall anything from her childhood, but her reaction shows she does. She doesn't want to tell anyone. Following that, they all begin joking about the matter. Bonri adds, "Even if we're not related by blood, after being together so long, we're no less than real siblings." Everyone then goes back to their rooms. Arida was still trying to digest everything and couldn't believe how much had transpired in just one day. As he proceeds to the bathroom, he comes upon his sister's clothes and feels uneasy. Ignoring them, he enters the bath and discovers Katono. When Arida and Katono see each other, they both become terrified, and Arida runs outside. He asks, "Are you some kind of ninja? Make at least some noise." Arida was ready to depart when Katono stopped him and asked for help. Arida assists her with showering, stating that she is in her 3rd year and still needs assistance. "If your peers find out, they will make fun of you." He instructs Katono on appropriate bathing, but she says, "I really like your strength." Erida does not respond much, telling her not to stay inside for too long before leaving. In contrast, Yuka and Shai describe their day as an adventure. They also feel horrible for Katono, who had to hear such a shocking revelation on her birthday. As the youngest, they believe it is their obligation to support her. In the toilet scene, Katono embraces Arida from behind, causing Erida to become terrified. On the other hand, when Yuka learned about sibling marriage, she was repulsed and called it nasty. Cheyen clarifies that he was only providing an example, as sibling marriages are not allowed. Yuka is taken aback as Cheyen begins to speak incoherently. She informed him that Erida was giving her strange looks and commenting on her attire. Nuka inquires about Arida's pinning of Katono in the gaming room, which surprised Cheyen. Cheyen claims to be aware of the entire story, but Arida has instructed him to keep it private. Yuka speculates that Arada's lust led him to pursue his sister, but believes there is more to the story. Cheyen first remains silent, but eventually reveals that Katono proclaimed her love to Arida and physically restrained him. Yuka was surprised and started shouting. Cheyen assures Katono that Arida has clearly rejected her. Yuka finds it difficult to believe because she never imagined Katono would have feelings for Arida. Cheyen explains that children at that age frequently confuse respect with affection. Yuka tells him you're only 1 year older than her. Stop spouting crap. Cheyen had nothing to say about that. The main issue was Kotono's realization that they were not biological siblings. Who knows what she will do? Kotono confesses her love again to Arida, but he rejects her. Kotono asks him, "Why am I a bad girl?" She informed him that she had studied whether step-siblings can legally marry. Arida assures her, that is not the issue. During puberty, it is common for children to confuse respect for love. I am your big brother, and it is my responsibility to protect you, even though we are not blood-related. He says this, then goes away. Kotono is left wondering how long puberty is supposed to last. Someone overheard their chat outside the bathroom. The image shifts to their father standing in front of their late mother's photo, claiming he has fulfilled his promise. But just then Bonri appears. When Arida returns to his room, he sees Siha. He inquires, "What are you doing here?" Sei asks him, "Where did you go?" Arida becomes concerned and tells Seiha that he was only out strolling, but she does not trust him. Arida then asks her, "What are you doing in my room?" "That is more important right now." Seiha does not respond and advances closer to him, pushing him down and climbing on top of him. After witnessing all of this, Arida becomes absolutely terrified. He begins shouting, "What on earth are you doing?" Sei replies, "This is going to be our top secret." Then she suddenly clutches to Arida. Arida begins to think of Kotono now. Why is she also experiencing mental instability? But suddenly, Seiha exposes the truth. She observed both Arida and Kotono in the restroom and was checking Arida to ensure he did not act inappropriately with Kotono. When Arida hears this, she panics and questions how much she saw. Sei informs him that she saw everything. She even starts repeating what Arida has said. Arida acknowledges her desire to protect her sister, but believes there could have been a more effective approach. Seiha then says, "Did you know that sibling marriage is illegal in our country?" Marriage between close relatives is outlawed due to societal and biological grounds, including the risk of weaker children. After their father informs them that they are not biological siblings, Kotono's acceptance of this information is uncertain. Physically, it is feasible as they are not blooded. Arida was astonished to hear this. However, Seiha adds, "At least one thing is clear. You are normal," and goes away. Arida begins to reflect on the recent events. So much had happened in just one day. For 16 years, they had lived together as siblings. They unexpectedly discover they are not blood relatives. Then, the scenario transitions to the next morning. As Arida prepares for school, he notices Bonri forcing Kotono to wear her nursing home outfit, which causes her to tease him as well. Hearing that makes Arida angry, and Bonri begins to cry a little. After some mocking, they go for school. Arida and Cheyen discuss yesterday's events at school, but their sisters appear unaffected. Meanwhile, everyone else was just as delighted to see them as before. Cheyen claims that no one is aware that they are not biological siblings, and it's unclear how people would respond if they knew. Then we show scenes from school where all of the siblings are having a normal day. After school, Arida was going to depart but couldn't stop thinking about everything. At that point, Minami appears. Arida notes that she is as cheery as always, as if nothing happened yesterday. They leave together, and Arida compliments Minami. She compliments Arida on her athletic abilities and explains that she is simply following her love. Arida denies it, but just then, 3 of Minami's fangirls appear. They compliment her and even ask for her autograph. After leaving, Arida offers they go to karaoke instead of returning home. Minami first feels nervous, but later reveals that her absence from club events is due to a failed aptitude exam. After listening, he offers to tutor her. Then we see them at karaoke, where Erida is teaching Minami. Minami claims she understands everything, but when Arida checks her, she fails to answer any questions. Minami suddenly begins singing a tune. The lyrics were humorous, as she sang about her preference for tennis over studying. Hearing her singing, Arida begins to giggle and enjoys himself. He appreciates Minami's cheery demeanor in any situation and believes there is no reason to worry about her. After they go, Arida notices the girl he likes and immediately hides. Minami notices this. After Minami goes away, Erida suggests she focus on her schoolwork, but Minami responds, "You know how unexpected yesterday was." Arida then asks for Minami's viewpoint, and she says she's inquisitive about who her true parents are. She also says she's worried about her little sister. And on top of that, you're not even my real older brother anymore, which means I could even start calling you senpai now. Hearing that, Erida was surprised. Then, Minami says, "Even if the girl you like already has a boyfriend, you shouldn't be discouraged." Arida asks, "How do you know about that?" Minami says, "I heard it from Yuka," which drives Arida crazy. Thank you for watching up to this point. If you want part 2, remember to like and subscribe.